Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Empire Total War with the Pirate Uber Alles mod. Last time around we beat our enemies yet again, but it looks like the Russians are really honing in on Minsk. So we've got two armies within striking distance. If they combine and actually attack, there's no way I'll be able to hold out in the siege, as Armfelt is too far away. I'm hoping they'll be just as indecisive as Peter the Great, and it will allow me to come in and reinforce before the city falls. Meanwhile, Charles is on his way to Moscow, take the capital of the enemy. Russians still staying out in the middle of nowhere in Finland. No one knows really what's going on. A lot of people actually, I think, or a lot of people, I don't know how many, but a few people have been commenting about upgrading the guns, and I'm one turn away from getting the demi cannons. I'm thinking people want for the 12-pounder garrison gun and the 64 garrison carronades. The thing is, since demi cannons are just around the corner, it feels like there's no point really in getting these. And also, I think I've been satisfied with the performance of my cannons. They have not really been the ones to decide the battle, but neither do I think that that's potentially compelling gameplay either, to have the guns do all the play. In between episodes I tried to negotiate, but I think they want too much as per usual with the AI, so I have not traded been able to trade any technologies with the enemy. Usually it's like the first 1 or 2 turns of a campaign or so on that you can actually do like decent deals with the AI, or at least better than what we're getting now. I should say here, for the Ottoman bug, I think it's actually modded out of this. Normally I don't really have the time to go in and read a lot about the mod and changes and fixes and so on. I just get straight into it. So I think they have actually done a workaround. So I've seen them move through. So I think we might not need the navy. I'm gonna keep them there for 1 turn more just in case, because oftentimes I'm watching my phone during the end turns, which is not really helpful. I'm missing key movements sometimes, but yeah, I'm gonna be paying attention to this one, and we'll see, and I'll see if they can actually freely pass through. It looks like they are, because there's a guy standing right there, so I think they can freely pass around the town, which should help with that and relieve my fleet to go hunt pirates or something instead. Finally, it's something that it's not gonna matter for most of you, because the way I upload and stuff is that it stays available for premium members for quite a few days before I release it to everyone, and during that time usually we are able to find if there's any problem in the video. Recently I've had problems with rendering the videos. I have not entirely figured out why it's happening, but it is happening. I have sort of been able to fix it. So part 8 was bad, and now also part 9 ended up trouble. The difference was part 8 was really early on, so the video that was supposed to be 50 minutes ended up being like 10 minutes long, but for the 9 one it was harder to detect, because that video ended up being, I think, 53 minutes long, but when I uploaded it, it's 47, so it was part of it sort of cuts off at the end, because something's wrong when rendering, and I haven't really figured it out. I'm trying to figure out what is exactly the problem. Is it the settings? Luckily enough, it seems like it's not the material, so it's not the recording, which would be that would really like piss me off if it was the recording, because then I would have to redo the recording, which so much effort to do that, so it seems like that's not the issue, which is good. And I can work with that, because working around with settings and stuff, that I can do. If it had been re-recording stuff, that would have been horrible. Anyways, we have been doing quite well against the Russians, and I'm not entirely sure what's going on, because it started off fairly hard in terms of battles and so on, and casualty rates, but it seems like I've been able to figure it out now, and we are doing quite well. A lot better than I thought we would. It's what I've said before. You can make the AI as good as you want on the battlefield and how it kills and so on. The indecisiveness on the campaign map and the strange maneuvers on with the AI on the campaign map kills it in a that's much more decisive, I think, than on the battlefield. Because on the battlefield, it's there's so many options for you as a player to work out and retry and work out the strategy. On the campaign map, it's a lot harder to do that. You do not have the same kind of options, really, or not in the same range, I don't think. If the Russians would have been aggressive, if they would have taken all their advantage they had early on and gone after me, like for instance this army sitting here, this is throwing the entire Russian, Charles is one turn away from taking Moscow. Their capital is about to fall. Like they're gonna be a relic of the past. They're gonna be nothing once I take that and hold it, hopefully. But that's about it. I don't think there's anything more I can babble on about. So let's go ahead and see ourselves. We can't find a battle. Most likely the battleground is Minsk. And that is going to be a hard fight. However, whatever comes after, I'm pretty sure Armfelt and his army is going to win the day. With that said, I've gone through everything, so it's high time for me to end turn. Wait, what? A Russian fleet came out of nowhere through here, through the Portugal trade node area, and attacked my trade ship. Okay, so me talking about how easy it's gone, suddenly the Russians are out here attacking my new trade routes. As per usual, I shouldn't say anything because the AI seems to be listening. Hopefully retreating will just save the day here. There's no way a trade ship with 12 guns and 58 men will stand up to 5th rate, even though I think it's lost crew. 39 guns. It's supposed to have more, shouldn't it? But this is not. This end turn does not start with a great sign. And before I go ahead and click the, or actually as I click the retreat button, oh, there's even more Russian fleets, and he follows me. I should say, as soon as the end turn started, I picked up my phone again. And was like, oh, I should see about watching some short form videos. And then I was like, wait a minute, I just needed to see if, yes, the Ottomans do pass around. So I don't need to keep my navy here. And it's clear that where I need to send it is the East Indies, because here's Russian ships dealing damage to my trade routes. God damn it. I'm gonna have to fight this and see about how much damage I can do on this, but this is not looking good. Not a great start. Not a great start at all. No surprise there, it was a defeat. I tried my best to get away, but they, I mean, not only did they have more powerful guns, they had more of them. So, at least the ship was sunk. And now the second fleet attacks. Let's see if I'm able to slip away this time around. Well, the Russian force does not delay. They learned from their mistake last time around. The attack. I have 700 men ready to defend against 2,700. Here's the result of the siege. The enemy deployed 2,700 against my 762. They lost 630 in an attempt to take the fort. We lost every hand. I thought my men would actually fight to the very end, which wasn't the case. So I probably shouldn't have withdrawn them towards the inner circle at the end. A lot of them ended up not actually being killed in the battle as much as they were killed after the battle, because they decided to flee and died that way. Anyways, we did a little bit of damage on that stack, which will count as some kind of a victory. But now Armfelt has to reclaim it. We go from bad to worse. The Russians go ahead and consolidate the rest of their troops that still have movement points and then attack Vilnius. The atheists are about to get about to get hot for the atheists. Well, if the last battle was a disaster, this is an even greater one. The enemy deploys 2,800 against my around 1,400 men. The enemy lose roughly around 100 men, while I lose my entire force. And the interesting thing here is that I kill about 45 of the enemy. Half of the few 100 that died in the battle was actually self-inflicted by the Russians themselves. The enemy outmaneuvered me in a way that I scarcely thought possible. Their cavalry completely they surrounded me, and in the final moment where I'm like boxed in, and I'm getting hit by archers from the back, same time as the cavalry attacks from the back. I'm getting attacked from the front and the sides, and then grenadiers throwing grenades at me. We were utterly done for. Plus the enemy artillery, the galloper guns, were spraying with canister. We had no chance. No chance whatsoever. And I'm fairly impressed, I'd say. As this end turn wasn't bad enough, the Crimean Tatars decide to attack me. Great stuff. Great stuff indeed. I guess it could have been worse. The Ottomans could have joined in the sides of the Tatar. There's still time though. Army defeated. 1, 2, and then areas lost, but at the same time we just got ring bayonets. I do recognize this picture though. This is from there was a commemorative battle around Stockholm where Russians and Swedish reenactors fought. I wasn't able to go there and see it, but I've seen a load of pictures from it, and I'm pretty sure it's from there. I can't remember what it was called exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's from there. So that's pretty recent. But we managed to get the ring bayonet. Wonderful. So right, trade agreement broken. What else do I have? Armchair General. Right. Doesn't that reduce... No? Research points for military technologies. Well, that's great. Right, so... in defense against the Crimean Tatars, we've got tons of sapper corps in Ukraine to stop them from attacking there. And then I've got an additional regiment in Ingria to defend there, and we have finally built up the armory. So now I should be able to get these demi-guns. So they have good accuracy, 45, they have good firepower is 15, and a range of 1,000. Upkeep cost is 300, recruitment cost is about 1,100. We're gonna need to replace all our cannons with these. So let's start with 5. So we'll get 2 for Armfelt and 3 for Charles. Same time, the college at Uppsala has been upgraded. Notice how the patriotic fever is gone. After having lost 2 territories, the winds of war seem to have changed. The square formation is next up, which is... I could probably buy it from the French or something. Maybe it would be better to go after something like this and then purchase square formation from the French or something like that. I was thinking about burning this. Now I'm even more convinced that I kinda need to burn this to increase my wealth. I don't need that many spies. 2 spies is enough. I'm gonna have to go to the East Indies, so I don't want to lose any more of the trade ships that I sent here. We got 2. They're gonna head back to... gonna head to India. And stay away from the Russians. Hopefully that's fine. And then my battle fleet, since it's no longer needed here, is gonna make its way to the East Indies. My trade ships, they're gonna have to... I think there's some trade slots open at Madagascar. There's one at Madagascar, or actually on the other side. We can set up trade there until the rest of that fleet is able to head on to the East Indies. Now that's done. I'm gonna have to mobilize something against these, because it does affect this region slightly. Actually not Currently, not at all. Oh, there we go. There. It's increased a bit. And Finland is now up to 1.5 of these rascals. However, that's not that interesting. I'm more interested in getting Charles to lay siege to Moscow, where they will spawn 3,000 men and then have 1,000 in reinforcements. Both the guns are stationary though, so they won't be able to take part in the Battle of Moscow, which is great. And then Armfeld needs to go and lay siege to Minsk, and he has a tendency to stop right before the town. These guys can continue on and get even further. There's nothing really that I can recruit in time to stop them. We do have a fort at Riga, so we'll send the veterans of past war together with the Helsinki regiments, and they'll be ordered to make their way to Riga. And then, just to add something to defend it, I'm just gonna buy 3 provincial cavalry. Completely pointless. Perhaps it's best to build more forts to dig in against possible Russian attacks, since it's not looking good right now. They're attacking all over the place. But before we go ahead and continue here, I wonder if the Tatar is going to attack here. At least I imagine the sapper is going to be able to deploy bombs and crap, so it's going to be a real like McCulkin situation around that fort and blow them to smithereens. Right. While the Russians are able to take Belarus and Lithuania, I'll be taking their capital. Right, we have 1,000 in reinforcements and 3,000 defending. Wait, does this have a this does have a fort, so we'll have to storm the fort. But it's a shame then that I didn't have Armfeld's Grenadiers, because that would probably be useful. Right, there's nothing for it. Let's storm the walls of Moscow. The time has come. I've made preparations. We are about half an hour into the battle, so it's just about time. The troops will now be ordered forward, and we'll see here what we can do against this fort. Now, I've already prepared. We got the elite brigade on this side. They're not too advanced just yet. I have the dragoons, who just defeated an enemy dragoon regiment who came out to fight them. Defeated them out here on the field. Quite viciously shot them down. The dragoons, the idea with the dragoons is they'll dismount and try and claim part of the wall here. We've got an enemy regiment sailing forth, which was not part of the plan. But sure, if you want to go out and get shot to pieces rather than stay inside the wall, then that is fine by me. And as you can see now, we have bayonets. Okay, so there are quite a few Russians that are actually sailing forth out of the castle here. We've got a cavalry regiment of Cossacks and these pikes. I'm hoping here that... No, you're not supposed to fire at will, because you'll shoot into the back of your friendlies. The pike regiment is actually falling apart, kinda. Now, the enemy is not taking these walls because I've already prepared them. They're down to 97 points here. I guess you will move up like this and will fall down like a door upon this regiment, so we can finally get rid of them. If you don't want to shoot them, then go in bayonets. And I have no time to deal with these idiots. But if they want to send out more regiments to die here, I'm gonna send up Swedish Pride then to take its place, since these guys took quite heavy casualties during all of that. Have another regiment of cavalry making it out. What I want is, I want these guys actually to come across, run across this, so I can blow the wall up right as they cross and kill them that way. That would be preferred. But I'm not entirely sure if I'll get that lucky. Now, since there's still cavalry in there, I was about to order these guys to dismount to see if I could claim the wall, but there's no point in doing that unless I can't get my cavalry inside. So I'm gonna get the cavalry to come around here. Right now they've massed so many troops here in preparation of the elite regiments to come through the woods, so that they've actually very much... Here come the Don Cossack again. They've very much neglected the front of this wall, so I wonder if I should try and climb this just to try and invoke a fight here. And it would be the 5th then that would climb around here, around the gate, and then hopefully the enemy would swarm in on the sides and I could blow up the walls, which would do two things. It would kill a load of enemies, but also open up for me to move inside. Let's go ahead and make sure that these guys do not come back. I'm gonna send in the dragoons to deal with them. Meanwhile, the front line will hold fire as the 5th now will make its approach and organize to storm the wall right around the gate here. Oh, look at that, you are back. So the 2 cavalry units came back, but I'll make sure that we hopefully make short work of these 2 regiments, so that I can easily and freely move outside the walls. They're tired, so it means they're gonna have a hard time if they actually get into substantial fighting on the wall. But the plan is not to have them fight in a substantial way. It's just to lure the enemy in so that I can blow up the wall when they're on it. We are now preparing to throw the grappling hooks. My dragoons are dealing with these. Now, unfortunately, because I've been forced to move out here, they have moved a sizable unit here. I don't think the dragoons will not be able to stand up in a prolonged fight against enemy units on the wall. Really what they're supposed to be able to go in and do is claim one of the gates so I can let my cavalry to come in and just start slaughtering away inside. Okay, so are they going to attack me? If they're not going to attack me, then I just claim the gate and I can set up the unit here to fight. Let's see. Looks like they actually are going for it. I'm gonna order the guns then to blow the wall. Break that bloody wall. Oh, both sides exploded. Hopefully taking a load of Russians with it. Doesn't look like it, and my regiment is forced away. It's forced to retreat, and we lose the gatehouse. But I'm hoping here we. It is someone throwing grenades, I figure. Is the grenades actually doing damage to the walls? Now it's about time to see if we can actually make it inside. We'll close in and order them to open fire. They're leaving this wall, which hopefully opens up for the elites to come through there. See if I forgot anyone. The king is over there. If sort of move. Oh, god damn it! I completely missed. Oh, it's villagers. Then don't charge. I fear they have some kind of spike ability. Alright, let's see if we can start. We'll start off slowly because I fear that charging in headlong is not going to do as well. The enemy, though, charging out headlong into our troops here, that I do think will work wonders for me. Go ahead and order these guys to swing up to the side. Same on this side. And then you can move a little bit further forward there with the pike regiment coming up to form pike wall right behind here, and then pike right behind there. Oh, once again, move back, and then fire at will. Russian unit is not doing well here, sailing forth, trying to stop us from being able to force our way inside the fort. Since they're seemingly not trying to send any more troops out, I'm gonna send my regiment of Nerke Värmland in around and behind the enemy, and we just the enemy turning up behind, or my troops, the enemy, I'm not the enemy, turning up behind has caused the enemy to mass route straight in to my regiment. Now there's more of them coming, so I'm gonna order them back. And I'm going to order these two to hold. If this is how they want to play it out... Oh, there we go. Now the bloody peasants are dead. If this is how they want to fight it, then by all means I will save a lot of manpower not having to storm the fortress. With as many enemies inside. I figure that our guns fire in an arc that I should be able to potentially do some damage here. Let's see. It would be nasty if the shots start to cut through my own units here. Nerke Värmland is in a bit of difficulty. However, I figure that if the units that are coming down here are defeated, then I can swing around and attack these into the side. Actually, what I'm gonna have to do is we're gonna have to deploy more troops here, because these guys are not gonna hold out against such a large unit. Dragoons should see about getting to the wall and try and climb it. You know, we've had a lot of bad news in this episode. Let's get a good one by actually claiming the Russian capital. The elites are just now coming into play. I'm gonna order them to run, actually. Right, Helsinki Regiment. Oh, Närke Värmland does not look like they're gonna hold for a lot longer. As soon as I order them to retreat, they will falter and run. Let's go ahead and order these guys to dismount. There they go. Just in time, though, for the Helsinki to be ready and in position. Let's allow them to pass before we open fire. However, Västgötadal has an opening to fire. And so does the Helsinki right now. What I note here, though, is looks like the enemy is setting up for a charge, or not a charge. They're setting up for to fire at me. I'm gonna send in the pikes then from either direction to see if that's gonna be able to defeat them. Meanwhile, I'm gonna order MacRob to climb the walls, and so I'm gonna order the dragoons to climb the walls. Now I'm gonna order the pikes in to fight them, and they're dragging the enemy away from the Helsinki regiment, so it allows them to fire freely into the backs of the regiment. Meanwhile, the Russian regiment here falling apart. We're climbing the walls on multiple locations. I think it's time, though, to hold fire with the guns. Let's see if we can't form these guys into a pike wall before we advance. Pike wall formation. Let's see, does it work if I form them into a square? Alright, we have claimed walls. The elite regiments should be able to break through here. And the cavalry should be able to sweep in through this gate. You know what? Let's try not to shoot our own men. Let's order in the charge. The enemy has opened fire here. And I've now successfully forced the enemy away. I'm gonna get the pikes to force their way in. There's a lot of cavalry stationed down there, so I think that should do quite well. And then the infantry regiments will be, let's see, ordered into formations. I'm not going to charge in through this gate just yet, as there's loads of enemies out there. Alright, I want the pikes to go after the... Oh, they have dismounted. Oh no, they're not, they were never mounted. Alright, here comes the pikes. As soon as you're all on the wall, I'll order you to take position. Start firing down into it. Because the cavalry will be tired pretty soon, I think. I will wait for as long as possible before ordering them in to attack the enemy here. Alright, time to get these guys in through the wall. It took the full hour to complete this attack. And at quite heavy loss, but that's to be expected with a siege. Fire on the cavalry. They are firing the bloody grenades from up here. They keep throwing grenades down upon the troops that are advancing here, but not really doing that much damage. Oh, my dragoons are set up, firing down. I didn't even think to do that. Good volley from the wall. This unit is surrounded by pikes and, let's see, it's Izzy's troops. See if I can maybe get a smaller one of the regiments to take control of the house and do damage from there. There goes the enemy commander. The fort commander is dead. Let's see, let's order the pikes to advance. Take control of the center point. And then have secondary regiment moving up to take control there. This unit will be ordered forward and see about if I can deal some damage to the grenadiers. So we'll have the dragoons move forward on the wall and then fire along the side of the wall onto the grenadiers before they start to do a ton of damage to my cavalry. There's no point in the cavalry being there actually, because at this point I don't really need them to charge in. We have one pike unit that was completely exhausted and forced away. I'm gonna order my infantry unit through the pikes. Soon enough the enemy should surrender, I think. There can't be a lot left. Alright, the cavalry unit was done for. I'm gonna order this unit to fire into the back of the Cossacks. You would think that would be enough to send them away. But clearly not, apparently. I'm gonna order these two regiments to retire. And then we'll shoot down the Cossacks, because it seems like they are not interested at all in surrendering. Surprised Västgötadal is still standing. 100 men left, or 98 men left. And they're still fighting on. And there we go. Continuing the battle upon this point would only occur more casualties on my side, unnecessarily. And we've already done 50 hours. That would be a siege. That would be a real siege. 50 minutes is what we're looking at. Right, let's go ahead and end this. Take a look at the statistics. Hopefully, we haven't lost too many men. Here's the result of the battle. I lost a lot less men than I thought. 1,500 roughly were lost. While we in total deployed 5,200 and the enemy around 4,000. We lost 1,500, leaving us with close to 3,800 men. And the enemy losing almost everything with only 184 managed to get out of the battle. What I can see at a quick glance, no unit was killed, even though some were quite low, especially the pikes there lost a lot. Highest kills goes to Närke Värmland, followed by Västgötadal, followed by Enlisted Regiment, Jönköping, Finnish Pikes, Dragoons, Life Dragoons, Helsinki, and then we've got Lifeguard units turning up here. Highest losses on our side, Finnish Pikes and Västgötadal. Västgötadal being both the highest killers almost, and also the highest losses. Damn good fighters that stayed in the fight for a very long time. But ultimately, the big victory here is the fact that I just claimed Moscow from the Russians. It's going to cost me about 6,800 to replenish, which was about half the cash that I had. We gained quite a bit of growth here. Pretty good. The spy is no longer needed, besides perhaps for assassinating their religious leader. How dastardly of me to murder such a man when there's plenty more. Oh, had I missed this? We've got quite the troops on the way. Spawns religious agents, maximum number of 4. Damn. Spawns gentleman. Spawns religious agent. A lot of these buildings are... Oh, they provide a lot of minus points. I'm gonna need to rebuild a lot of this. Oof. The big buildings are gonna be expensive. This one I cannot even rebuild. It's gonna cost me over 9,000. Does it... It's specifically for Orthodox populace though. I should destroy it then. If I want to keep control of this area, I definitely don't want the enemy's religion to be left here. We get 8 units of... No, that's not right. We get 2 units spawning in. Right. But right now, this video is long enough as it is. Started off really bad, losing 2 provinces and getting attacked on the trade route. Ultimately, though, I was able to secure victory by taking control of Moscow. Now my spy needs to figure out... Most likely, the enemy armies are coming from over here. So it would be nice to know what they've got going out here. And one thing that I do think is we probably gained a new school of learning. Which is awful, because they work at a snail's pace. But I'll put them to work on something, because even a snail's pace is better than nothing. And with that, I think we'll go ahead and end it right here. For the next one, it's going to be to continue to hound the Russian army through the Minsk area, and then to stop the attempt by the Russians to recapture Moscow. Losing Moscow is probably a big blow to the Russians. I imagine that they've taken quite the hit to their treasury. Their new capital has been moved to God knows where. But yeah, there we go. Moscow has been taken. And by the looks of it, the Russians might have set fire to it themselves. And on that note, I will end this episode by saying, as I always say, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.